Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing this super complex advanced 3D transition. It is 4 clips, so about 2 seconds here. I have my 4 pictures here. I don't know why it's okay there. I'm just going to merge these together. And then I'm going to import my pictures again. Now let's go to new, multi-layer, press 3D and make your color background green. Now we're going to add our first picture and I'm going to turn it vertically by 25 like this, and then just move it down. Just about here is pretty good. Now I'm gonna add my second picture and press layout and press 3D cube and turn this all the way up. Now I'm just going to decrease the size to about like 65. You can change this up to however big you want your cubes to be. This is how big I want mine to be. Now I'm just gonna drag it down so that it's flat on the picture like this. Now we're going to move it to one side, so I'm just going to move it to the right first. Now I'm just going to increase the depth so that it's closer to this bottom right corner. So usually about like 20 is good, around there. It might change or like it might vary depending on how big your cube is, but yeah, it's good at about 20 for me. Now I'm just going to go back, copy layer 2, 3D cube, and now we're just going to copy keyframes from layer 2, and now I'm just going to move this to the left. Try to move the cubes around so that they have an even amount of space between them. And then for layer 4 we're just going to do the same thing, just copy layer 2 or 3, add 3D cube, copy keyframes from layer 3, and this time we're going to change the depth. So like whatever your depth is here, make it a negative number. So since my depth is 20, I'm going to make it negative 20. And then for layer 5, I'm just gonna copy the same picture, add 3D cube, copy keyframes from layer 2 so that it's on the right, and change the depth to negative 20 again. Now you should have something like this, but they're not evenly spaced out for me, so I'm just going to keep playing with the depth until they're about like a good even amount between them. Okay, so they're about an even amount for me now. I made the depth 23 for the front ones and then negative 23 for the back ones. Now we're going to go to layer 6 and we're going to add our third picture now. Make it a 3D cube. And then we're just going to copy keyframes from layer 2. This should be the first cube. Now I'm just going to move it up so that it's above the cube. Now I'm going to click the anchor and I'm going to move this up so that the red dot is on the bottom of the cube. When it's at the bottom of the cube, just click the anchor again and then just move it down. For layer 7, I'm just going to copy layer 6, add 3D cube, and then copy keyframes from layer 6, and then I'm just going to move it to the left. For layer 8, once again, just copy the picture, add 3D cube, and then copy keyframes from layer 7. This time all we have to do is change the depth to negative 23, or just negative whatever number you have. For layer 9, once again, just copy the picture, 3D cube. This time I'm going to copy keyframes from layer 6 and change the depth to negative 23 again. Now just add your last picture and press cuboid this time, not 3D cube. Click this arrow and press top. And then just copy keyframes from layer 6 and then you're just going to move it up once. Layer 11, just add your last picture again, press cuboid, top, and copy keyframes from layer 7 and move it up once. Same thing for layer 12 and 13. I forgot something, so let's just go back to layer 10 and click the X so that the layout is at 50. And then do the same thing for layer 11 and layer 12 and 13. Now we're going to add a master. So my thing isn't really in the middle, so I'm just going to click the anchor point and I'm going to move it down until it's like right in the middle like that. Now we're just going to turn it vertically by 25 and then go to 30 frames in, so 1.00, and turn it to 0. You may want to size this down a bit, so I'm just going to do that. Now go to about halfway between these markers, so it should be about 0.15, and mark down the up and down arrows like that. And then just add your graph. Now we're going to go to 1.15, and I'm going to turn it horizontally by 50. Now go to the second marker here, and we're just going to press this down button here to mark it down, and same thing for this marker in the middle. Now you want to go back to this first marker, and we're going to add a graph like this, just a regular in graph. And then for this middle marker, we're going to add this type of graph. You can screenshot the preset, or you can just make your own like this. Now for this last marker, we're just going to add an out graph. And by now it should look something like this. Now at the very end here, I'm just going to turn it vertically by 25 again. And then on this marker right here, I'm just going to mark it down and just add your graph. And now it should look something like this. Since the top pictures are upside down here, I'm just going to go back to layer 13. And then at the very beginning, you want to turn it horizontally by 50 like this. And you're going to do the same thing for the other 4 like top pictures. And now they should all be facing the right direction. Now go back to layer 6. This should be like one of the top cubes. And what we're going to do is at 1.15, I'm just going to mark down the size. So just press the down button. And at the beginning of the clip, make your size 0. At 0.15, we're going to make the size 0 again. And then halfway between these markers, so around 1.00, we're just going to mark down the size, and now I'm going to add my graph. Now I'm just going to do the same thing for the rest of the upper cubes. Lastly, I'm just going to go to layer 10, which is one of the top pictures. And I'm just going to turn down the opacity at the very beginning, turn it to 0. And then notice like where like the top cube is about like at its full size, so about here. I'm just going to mark down the opacity again, and then go 1 keyframe forward and turn it up 100. Take note of where you marked down the opacity, so I changed it at 1.06 and 1.07. So I'm just going to do the same thing for the rest of the top pictures. So at the very beginning, make my opacity 0. At 1.06, mark down the opacity, and then 1 frame forward, make it 100. And finally, your transition should look like this. And you are done. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow my Instagram at VirgoUnts. Link is in the description. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.